Oh, what's up guys, welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So today, finally able to record a new video. So for you guys, it's only probably been 4 or 5 days, but first of all, that's the longest span I think on my channel that I haven't uploaded. And then also just like recording videos, usually I record videos in batches and then schedule them, so I have a nice schedule to upload. So realistically, I haven't been able to record a video in like probably a week and a half, 2 weeks or something like that, something crazy like that. I was studying like crazy for a test that I was able to pass on Friday, thank God. So now I can go back to normal life, able to make videos and just do everything else that isn't involved in studying. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So this is kind of a weird video because manga logs I usually do late, and it's because of like hauls not going up and me not showing you guys certain manga that I picked up because things are still coming, or I'm still planning on making a video, or I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but most of this manga will be shown in my next haul video just because I haven't shown it in a haul yet. My hauls are a little backlogged right now, and it's because I have a ton of manga that you guys haven't seen yet, but I'm still waiting on a couple more packages, so I'd rather just wait for those to come in and then just show you guys all at once. Without further ado, I'm going to show you guys everything I read in August and like not stuff in September. I have read a couple things already, but I'll save that for the next manga vlog. So the first series that I finished, which you guys are already aware of if you've watched my review of this, is we have Bokurano. So Bokurano was an absolutely amazing manga. I wish that more people were able to access it and read it, just because I do think it's really good. I did leave a review and kind of like my opinions on it. So if you go back and check out that video, it was just a couple videos ago, or maybe even my last video since I'm uploading this one. Volume 3 is very expensive. I hope it does get reprinted or restocked. So more people have access to it. But if you're interested in the story and what this is about without spoilers, I recommend checking out that video. And then the next manga I actually also do have a video on. This is my second to last video that I uploaded. This one is Doubt. So hopefully a lot of you guys are familiar with this one. This one is a really good manga. It's very dark, psychological. You know, it's based off of a phone game, and it turns into this like murder saw situation. It's honestly really good in my opinion. If you want more info on this one and my opinion, like I said, I dropped a video 2 videos ago where half the video has no spoilers, the second half does have spoilers, but I announced that, you know, I announced the period where there's spoilers, so feel free to watch that. I highly recommend it, and look out for my next haul because I might have picked up the next series for this. Next we have a very popular series that a lot of people have talked about. I know the Prom G has talked about this one a lot, but we have Grand Blue Dreaming. This was pretty interesting. I know some people have issues with this manga, but most people just take it for what it is, and it's a funny comedy manga. I don't know if you consider it a harem or harem. I'm not 100% sure on that, but kind of similar vibes, but just a very funny comedy. So this is a manga about a diving club, but not like a... So when people talk about this book, this manga, I thought it was like a school diving club or something like that, but it's actually like an actual diving, not like a swim, not like the sport, or you know, like actually in the ocean diving club. So that's pretty interesting. I do plan on getting some more of these at some point. I have another manga that I'm a little more interested in than this one that has a similar harem feel to it, and I will say this manga also has some like weird relationship with the main character and his supposed cousins. I don't know, I think that's really the only issue that some people have. I don't know. I don't know how it continues. I don't really know how it works, but yeah, it can be a little strange. So the next manga that I was talking about is the Quintessential Quintuplets. This first volume was really, really good, and everyone talks about it being really good, and I just didn't really, I'm not really into harem slash like romance manga, but this is like more like a comedy. It's very innocent, but not like too innocent like some other manga. It's just I don't really know how to describe this as, you know, other than just really, really good. Our main character has to tutor these 5 quintuplets, and Each one has a totally different personality. It's just really good. Once I get some more volumes, I'm definitely interested in making a video on this. But I highly recommend people to check out at least the first volume, even if you think it's not something for you like I did. I really enjoyed this, and I might or might not have a package coming in the mail with some more volumes. We're just have to wait and see. So at this point through the log, now we're going to start getting darker and darker in terms of manga titles. But we have Kaiji, I believe that's pronounced. This was a very cool manga. I really enjoyed it. It is a gambling manga, but it's different than Kakiguri. I think that's how you pronounce it, Kakiguri. But with that one, I watched the first season on Netflix, and that one has a lot to do with deception and cheating, whereas this one obviously absolutely does have some deception and cheating, but this one also has a lot of just outwitting other people, if that makes sense. I think it's more of a true gambling manga. Not that I dislike that. I think Kakiguri, and I'm pointing back there because I do have volume back there, I really enjoyed it. I think it was awesome. But I do think these are both two very different manga. I will say there are certain points in this manga where I was starting to kind of doze off at points, and then I would kind of, something would trigger and, kick me back up. But honestly, I'm really excited for the second omnibus. I know it has a release date. Hopefully it sticks to that. Apparently Dempa is, kind of unreliable when it comes to releases from what I hear. I don't really know much about them. And personally, if you're like, if you think you're gonna have an issue with the art because it is kind of an older art style, the characters do look kind of funny. Personally, it didn't affect me at all. I'm also not someone who really cares too much about art, but I thought the art was pretty good. I think the characters are kind of funny. The artwork isn't bad, it's just that's the way the characters are drawn. So they are kind of drawn ugly, like, just actually ugly appearance-wise. But I thought it was really good. I thought everything was really well thought out, and there were some nice twists and turns to the first omnibus. Next we have a couple works by Shuzo Oshimi, the GOAT of, like, dark psychological horror. Kind of, yeah, I would say horror manga. But we have Flowers of Evil. This is the omnibus, and man, I mean, it was really good. It was so strange and crazy at times. It's the definition of an awesome psychological thriller. You don't really know what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen. It's hard to predict reactions and situations in this manga, which I really enjoy. I don't know where this manga is going to go from here. I know there's 3 other omnibuses. I think his works, he usually does like 10 volumes. I am very excited to continue this. I am also so happy they're in omnibus format. I'm going to make a video at some point talking about Shuzo Oshimi works because I love them, but there's a fatal flaw of them just reading way too quick, and I say flaw, but like flaw as in, it kind of sucks for the reader because I think his works really, I think for the reader, his works are better in omnibus format, or if you have the entire series in binge, just because they read so fast. So it's like, I finished this omnibus and I felt way better after finishing this omnibus than I felt after reading like Blood on the Tracks Volume 1. Like, I just flew through that and I'm like, okay, where's the rest? Like, this is really cool so far, but I mean, I don't know though, going a little off track. Let's go to the next book. So next manga, we have another Shuzo Oshimi. We have Happiness. This was also fantastic. I really enjoyed this. I also, you might have a couple more volumes coming in that some of you guys may have seen from my community post, but this was a fantastic volume of manga. It is, I love the vampire aspect. I think it like gives off Tokyo Ghoul vibes and kind of gives off Ajin vibes, and I don't know, I really like that stuff. So I'm very excited to see where this manga continues. I really enjoy his artwork and his characters. I don't know, it's very interesting to me. There's always this like weird tense situations that he creates throughout his manga. But yeah, I am super excited to continue this, and I really just don't know where the story's gonna go. And by the way, real quick, this isn't a review or anything, so I'm not gonna go too in depth, but The Flowers of Evil, I don't think I really talked about the story at all. Most of you guys are very familiar with this or have heard people talk about it, but if you haven't, it's about this, like, I think a high schooler, probably a freshman or something like that, who finds this girl who he likes gym clothes in class, and he picks them up, and he, like, hears this noise, so he kind of gets freaked out and takes him home, and essentially gets blackmailed by this absolutely insane, like, crazy antagonist. One of the craziest female antagonists who I've seen throughout manga, and it's just this spiral of blackmail and situations that occur because she is just absolutely insane. The next manga that I've been reading, which it's probably already been in reading logs, but I'm going to include it just because I'm continuing it, and that is Ajin, volume 9, sorry. I think I've typically said Ajin, but I think it's Ajin. So Ajin, volume 9, absolutely fantastic ride. I've talked about this manga before. I'm waiting to finish all 15 volumes to make a full video talking about it. And the last volume, or omnibus technically, this is not a manga, this is a graphic novel, but I felt it's very important to include in here, is we have Mouse. So some of you guys might have heard this before, some of you guys may have read this before. If you haven't read this before, I highly recommend reading it. It is a very deep story. It's, as you can tell by the cover, it is a story that has to do with World War II, specifically Nazis and stuff. But it's to put it briefly, it's this guy's retelling of his father's experience through the Holocaust and through the concentration camps. I believe it was Auschwitz. But not only that, it's also the telling of the son's struggles currently as he was writing this graphic novel, or drawing this stuff. The struggle that he dealt with, like just dealing with his dad, and it's really crazy because personally, I've never read anything like it. I've read stuff about people's experiences through the Holocaust, through concentration camps, but I've never read anything that talks about, once the war is over and, a current day like novel, or, honestly, it's just really hard to explain, but it's basically the father's struggle through the Holocaust and the concentration camps, and then the son's struggle to deal with his father, and everything that has formed and molded his father because he went through the concentration camps. And it is just really, really crazy. The characters are drawn as animals, so like Jews are mice, Nazis are cats. I think like the Americans are dogs or something like that. I mean, it's very, very cool. It's very symbolic. I highly recommend you read it. It's critically acclaimed. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this manga log. I have a huge manga haul coming. I am just waiting for a couple more packages and then it'll be out. But I'll leave you guys with a shot of the entire log and all the volumes, and I will catch you guys later.